7. Here you say you go for Uncle Ebo's program. And I said, hey, it means everything I say here is recorded.
Yes, and it's good because that's the kind of listeners we have.
Yeah.
And that is why when you're on air, you've got to be very careful.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, this morning, let me take a moment to say thank you to two wonderful people who made me feel so good on Thursday last week.
Okay.
David Aflu, the MD of GB Foods, and Ekuya Obriyaboa, the marketing director of GB Foods. I'd like to thank you very much for your hospitality and your welcome. And listen, this weekend's is Secret Code of Wives at the National Theatre. So if you haven't gotten your ticket, I'm speaking to our listeners, please get your ticket because this is a play that will stay with you for a long, long time. So please make it a point to join us on the 27th and 28th, and then on the 4th and 5th of December. Now, do you ever wonder what it would be like if the characters in the Bible were Ghanaians and the Bible was set in Ghana in our time? Well, I do from time to time. And this morning, I want to take you on a creative journey to answer the question, what if Job was a Ghanaian? Job would have been a very influential and powerful Ghanaian. The Bible says he was the richest and therefore the greatest man in the East. So imagine a Ghanaian who is the richest man in Africa. The first thing is that he would have been a household name in Ghana. Everyone in Ghana would have known his name. And one of our national pastimes would have been to talk about him and discuss his business and even his personal and private affairs all the time. One of the burdens our rich men in Ghana have to endure is a kind of false reports and fake news that we put out about them. Every rich man in Ghana has a lot of fake and outrageous reports about him and about his business and his family. The problem is we have this deep yearning to explain away the wealth and sources of fellow Ghanaians. For instance, one of my friends is Mr. Kofi Nsiapoku, the CEO of Kenafama. Now, I worked with a man and I knew that the secret of his success was hard work, attention to detail, and great business instincts. But I once heard some people who claimed to know him explain away Kofi's success by saying that he was into the trafficking of drugs. When I told Kofi what I had heard, he burst into laughter and said, Mr. White, do you know me? I don't have the courage for wrongdoing. If I ever try to traffic drugs, I'll be so jittery at the airport that I would easily alert the customs and immigration people to the fact that I was carrying drugs. Kofi and I laughed the whole thing off, but that is the cross every wealthy Ghanaian has to bear in Ghana. People make up stuff about you. And then there will be the fake news of how many side chicks he has and how many children he has fathered with a multitude of women outside his marriage. You know, if you're a successful man in Ghana, you dare not take a picture with any beautiful girl, because if you do, that girl puts that picture on a social media page, the automatic conclusion is that you are having an affair with her. And so the list of girls that fake news would have said Job was having an affair with would have been a very long one indeed. Now, Job had 10 children, 7 sons and 3 daughters. In this, he is very much a Ghanaian. Where I come from, giving birth to 10 children is regarded as a great achievement, and a lot of couples aim for that in my part of Ghana. It is such an achievement that the woman who gives birth to the 10th child is celebrated with a gift of a sheep. We call that Bedujan. Most rich people I know are fairly low profile, or at least they try to be, but their children are not that low profile. The rich man works hard to make money, and his children are the ones who blow the money. And I'm sure that Job's children were no different. I've also discovered that most rich men live very careful lives, but it is their children whose escapades and adventures always bring a negative spotlight on their fathers. You see, when a rich man's son messes up, the reports find a way of making his father the center of the story instead of the boy. Now, the children of Job exhibited very Ghanaian traits. The children of our rich men love to throw lavish parties. And the Bible makes it clear that the 7 sons of Job loved to throw lavish parties. There were 7 of them, and each threw a party on his birthday. And so the Job boys threw 7 huge and lavish parties every year. That means every other month there was one Job boy party to keep social media and the gossip pages of newspapers busy and excited. Being boys, I'm sure that the 7 of them competed with each other for whose party was the wildest or the coolest. Rich boys attract a lot of fun-loving girls. And so I'm sure that the parties had a lot of girls and a lot of booze. No wonder after each party, their father purified them. Now, the cost of each party would have become the trending news on social media. Ghanaians love to discuss the expenditure of the rich. We love to discuss how the rich spend their money. It fuels our envy and resentment of them. And so you would have heard things like, hey, did you hear how much they spent on that party? They spent $1 million on that party. Oh. And the rest of us will go, what? $1 million? Oh, money has gone into the wrong hands. Look at the waste. $1 million. All I need is just 10% of that, and I swear it will transfer my life. It will transform my life. $1 million? Well, listen, 2 things. 1, we forget that it is none of our business how a rich man spends his hard-earned money. Mm-hmm. And 2, what the rest of us will regard as a lot of money may be nothing but pocket change for a rich man.
Exactly.
In an interview, Elon Musk, who is currently the richest man in the world, said that a certain project that the host, the guy who was interviewing him, was asking about, will need about $6 million to really take off. The host exclaimed, oh, that is a lot of money. It is not peanuts. And Elon Musk laughed and said, it depends. Now, you see, just this month, Forbes reported that when Hertz announced that they will be ordering 100,000 electric cars from Elon Musk's company, his net worth, which was about $192 billion, shot up to $271.3 billion. So you see, for a man worth $271 billion, what is $6 million? You know, if you earn, say, 3,000 Ghana cedis a month and you spend 30 cedis on lunch, and someone who earns 300,000 cedis a month also spends 300 Ghana cedis on his lunch, which of you is living more expensively? You, with the 3,000, are spending 1% of your income on lunch. And that person with the 300,000 is spending just 0.1% of his income. But let's return to Job as a Ghanaian. He exhibited another trait of Ghanaian rich fathers. These fathers become successful by observing and upholding certain values, but they do not seem to succeed in inculcating those values in their children. Job was meticulous in worshiping and honoring God, but his children did not seem to have picked that trait of their father. The context of the story in the Bible seems to suggest that Job knew that his children could be wild, and so after each party, he would send for them and sanctify them. And early in the morning, he would offer burnt offerings for each of them, saying, quote, perhaps my children have sinned and cursed God in their hearts, end of quote. And the Bible says that was the regular custom of Job. Well, listen, this is just the beginning of our journey into discovering what it would have been like if Job in the Bible was a Ghanaian. Please join me on Thursday for the continuation when we talk about one key lesson that Job teaches all of us. And until then, stay blessed. And Winston, happy birthday in advance. You are a wonderful, wonderful young man.
Thank you very, very much, Uncle White. And I mean, we can't miss Wednesdays. What if Job was a Ghanaian? Ghana, anyway. Sami Adame is, fighting himself here. I don't know why. But Sami Batakari, your nephew.
Is he wearing Batakari also today?
Yes, he is, Uncle. He says that's his official wear. he says that's his official wear.
Now tell him that we know the secret. He doesn't want to wash anything. He doesn't want to go to the laundry.
Have you heard? You don't want to wash anything. You don't want to go to the laundry. And that's why you're wearing Batakari. Thank you very much, Uncle. Why? Sami Adame is asking whether that's what everybody does. I have a lot of Batakaris too, but it doesn't mean that because... anyway, Batakari saves you a lot of stress sometimes. Anyway. But time now for the Joy Business Minute brought to us by